What's up, everybody? Just pulled in the gate at Deer Lease where I keep my bees at. And, oh, it's Matt with the mullet, by the way. The mullet's a beekeeper, I guess. So I haven't made videos because I feel like I was the world's worst beekeeper. It's hard to share your failures, but moving forward, I think it's important to share your failures. I made some mistakes last year. Didn't verify that combs were drawn. Didn't make sure things were queen right. I just took my honey and rolled and did some feeding, but didn't really do any inspections after I pulled honey. Part of that was because one day I was out here and forgot to verify that my veil was zipped all the way, and had 12 of the gals get all up in my face, and they lit me up and gave me old pumpkin head. My ears were swole. I got stung on the ears, the eyebrows, the nose, the lip. By far the worst of those stings was on the lip. So yeah, that kind of was discouraging. So I just kind of fed from a distance, open feeding, and Amonius Dominis, let's see what happens. So I had a hive abscond. So I went into winter with 4 colonies. Had one dead out in January, December. Sometime in there I noticed it was like really light, so I popped the lid and it was empty. The other 3 came out good. February comes along, everything's looking all right. Lost queen in 2 of them. So, you know, I made some splits way too early with some virgin queens that I bought. And when I'm telling you they was way too early, I'd split my one good hive down to like these splits were in 2 framers, and they had like half a cup of bees and a virgin queen, and it was the end of February, beginning of March. It was way too early for all that. So that was a fail. I don't think there were any drones flying yet. Yeah. So I got that hive, that colony that I took the bees from, got them going with some sugar water, started making some stronger splits in March. I was actually able to save one of the colonies that was dying by giving them a frame of eggs. They made a queen closer to mid-March, and she came back good to go. Caught a queenless swarm, and well, a swarm that I couldn't find a queen in. I don't know if they had a virgin and she didn't make it back or what, but that was my first like going to pick up a swarm out of somebody's mailbox. That was kind of cool. Gave them a frame of eggs. They've raised a queen. I got a couple of nukes from a guy, and I got a 10 frame hive from a guy the other day. But that's a different story. I was told that hive had almost all 10 frames drawn. I popped it open on Monday, and it was like a quarter drawn with wonky comb. So it's Thursday. I'm going to be gone all next week. I'm coming out here to give them some foundation with wax on it instead of just black plastic foundation with no wax, apparently. Look at that. That is a Chinese tallow tree. That's what our bees are working right now, tallow. And the next thing that comes up should be palmetto in July, I believe. But we still got some tallow coming, so that's good. Yeah, it's flowing in fast right now. I got honeybound hives, so I had to wax some foundation to get on these guys. And I'm not going to be here next week, so everything's getting a super that needs it. I found swarm cells on Monday in one of my hive IQs, so I pulled the queen out of it, put her in a Jester nuke box with 2 shakes of bees, a frame of honey. I think I put a frame of cat brood in there. I'll check in a minute. But that hive IQ, I'm slapping a super on it, because if that queen comes back, they still got time to draw me out some combs at least. And they need room anyway if she's going to have anywhere to lay. So I'm going to let them get started drawing wax. I forgot my microphone and my actual camera. So what I'm going to do is get up here, go over my plan with you, and then I'll do an outro. I don't have a tripod or nothing, so I'm not going to bore y'all with one-handed video while I'm trying to work bees and get stung. Hey, don't wear Crocs while you inspect your bees. Monday, I took 3 to the ankle, so today I got some boots. Foot jails, if you will. Yeah, let me get up here and I'll go over stuff with you. This is my setup here. It's kind of junked up. We've had storms come through. I got to get everything picked up. Nothing that flipped had bees on it, so we're good. I'm going to drag that yellow gate out of the way and kind of extend my line here. Jester Newt box with the queen from that hive over there, some bees and brood. That is the single deep I got from the guy that had a crap comb, so I just gave them 10 frames of comb, I guess, last week. I'll have to look. I didn't take any notes to record because I was a little angry. That is a stack of stuff that's going to leave today. Hive IQ box. Ooh, mosquitoes a stick today. They're filling out that second deep with honey. They're getting a whole super of foundation this morning. I may pull a frame up out of the bottom. Those Hive IQ boxes get really tight with 9 frames in them. So I may run that breed box to 8 frame. Let's see. This should all be empty stuff. I thought I just saw a snake, but it was a grasshopper. All right. I don't remember what the deal is with that hive. They're queen right, I know that. Okay, this hive. I had a double medium right there that, no, it was a single deep, and it was very, very weak. It had a laying queen that just made it back from a mating flight, but I put some old comb in there that had wax moss, and the wax moss was taking over everything. So I got rid of all that comb, shook out all the wax moss, and combined it with this hive that I couldn't verify a queen in. I don't know if that was the right call or not, but I did it, and we'll see. That super of drawing wax is going back on them today. I didn't want to put it on there without a queen excluder. That Hive IQ box is the one that had the swarm cells. I am going to pop the lid on it, put a queen excluder on it, and give them a super of foundation and let them get started. All right, I'm going to do this, and I'll be back afterwards to let you know what's going on. Oh yeah, I actually have a hive that was in my backyard, a colony, that I'm going to set right there where that 2-framer's at. It is a little FMA 7-framer that I really, really like, and I'm going to try it this year. And if I like them even more, I'll stick with them. I like those Hive IQ boxes, but they get tight. That is 9 frames right there with no comb on them. And once they've got that stuff drawn out, god dang, it's hard to get it out without rolling bees. All right, let me get suited up and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm done. I don't know how long it took, but it was a hot minute. So the Jester Newt box that was here was good, queen right. They accepted that queen. You know, she had a couple of frames of eggs already, and it was good to go. The Apomea from the house was queenless. So I merged them together, and they've got about 4 frames of brood and a frame of honey and 2 drawn combs. So what I did was I threw a second box of foundations up there, because over a queen excluder, we've got honey flow still. I heavy coated them in wax last night. They should get that drawn out. That double deep right there, that's the one I got from the guy that had a bunch of wonky comb in it. I did not see any eggs, but I saw larvae and no queen cells. So I'm giving that a week to see what's going on. The Hive IQ, I threw another deep on top of it, pulled some of the honey frames up out of the bottom above the queen excluder. That hive is going to have to be requeened. They're pretty grumpy. The one down there that's got the 2 deeps and the super on top, all I did was throw a super on it. They had a queen cell the other week, so I don't want to go down in there. The one right there, they accepted that queen that I snuck in there. Well, there's a queen in there. They've got frames and frames of eggs. So I just put an excluder on and threw a honey super up there. And that Hive IQ, I didn't want to go in there because they had cells. So I just slapped an excluder and a honey super on. It is hot. My mullet is looking janky. But everything's got room to grow. The things that had swarm cells, last week when I checked, only had 1 or 2. So I'm not worried about small swarms getting out. My big fear is queens coming back mated, and I will check all those in probably 2 weeks. Everything should be good to go for 2 weeks. Next week I'll be out of town, so what's today? Today is Thursday. It'll be a full 2 weeks before I get back out here. So we'll see if I made right decisions or bad decisions. I'm not hiding nothing anymore. I really felt bad for not updating when I started having troubles, but I probably could have got some good advice. But you live and you learn. So we'll see what happens. That big pile of empty boxes I was going to get out of here today, nah, bro. It's too hot. That's going to have to wait. All right. Peace out.